Hello, this is Dawn with Create28 and Create with Confidence, and today what we're going to do is, this is a design team project with Scrapbooking with me, and I'm using her Kindness is Free digital kit, and what I wanted to do was create some mini journals for friends. So just an example, this is a 3x4 mini journal. I've just kind of put it together. I haven't added any ephemera or anything to it, but just something, a little something to give to friends so that they can have something to carry in their purse and make notes and stuff. So that's what we're going to do today. And what I have is, you can see I've cut some cardboard and I've sanded it a little bit so that it's a little rough. And I've added some cardstock here to the spine, so that gives it a little more sturdiness. So the first thing I want to do is I actually want to cover this so that, since I printed everything out on copy paper, I don't want this emblem coming through. So I'm just going to take some paper and cover it. So it's 4x3 with a 1/2 inch spine. So let me do 4 inches. And I want it to wrap around some. So we'll just do 5 inches by, and it'd be 6.5, so let's go ahead and make it about, I don't know, 7.5. We can trim anything off. Okay. I'm going to take my glue and just glue all over the back here. You can do this with any kind of paper, cardstock, whatever you want to use. It doesn't matter. I just happen to have this on hand because I was using it to glue one. Least I can do is get it somewhat even. Okay. And again, we're going to cover this up. So let's snip here and here. And corners there. And then, oops. Let's get these here. Just trim that off. So we've got that done. And I was thinking about using either this page or this page for the front cover. I just think he is so cute. So I think I'm going to use this as the front and this is the back. So I'm just going to cut this about in half. And I actually need to have it straight so that I can line it up with the spine. So let me do this. That. And that. And toss that. Set that aside. Decide where I want this to go here. I want that flower. I want that flower. I want that flower. Okay. So what I want is I need to cut off about an inch. That'll work. Trying to save that flower there because it's just too pretty to cut. Okay, so now what I want to do is go ahead and get glue on this. Spread that out a little bit. Okay. Fold this over. And we're going to fold that over. Trim, trim, rid of these extra bits here. Oops. And let's put this down. Okay, so that's our front. And I want this guy, I want to make sure he's back here. Okay, so looks like we need to cut about right there. That looks good right there. So let's go ahead and cut off just right here. And get this down. Kind of skimped on that, didn't I? That's okay. We're going to cover that anyway. So let's get that down. Bring that down. Trim. Trim. Go ahead and knock off that. Trim that. Okay, so we've got the start of our outside cover here. Now for our inside cover, I'm going to put this down. Let's see. 4 inches. I don't think that's very even right there. Let's just even that up. So I got 4 inches. And I'm going to put this here. And the reason why I'm doing this separate is so that it doesn't get all bunched up by trying to do it on just one piece. Okay, so let's just get some glue down here. And put this guy on down. Okay. And then for the inside, I need 2 pieces that are 3 by 4. So that piece is not going to quite be big enough. So let's go ahead and cut this piece here. And they're actually going to be a little bit smaller than 3 by 4. So say 3 3/4. That way I get the squirrel there. By 2 1/4. 2 and I've got that too small. So I'm going to make sure. Okay, that'll work on that end. Okay. That'll work on that end because you know why? I can put a pocket right there. Okay. Okay, so let's glue. That glue out to the corners. Glue here. And I've already got my signature created using some of the pages from The Kindness is Free that I printed off, and I printed them off two on a page at about 90%, so they're smaller. And I didn't print front and back, I just printed on the front. And I used some French ledger pages from one of her kits, and then I had some music books that I took pages out, and some other books, some coffee stained paper that I had dyed. This is from her kit. So I just put those together, and I wanted to make sure I ended up with one of her pages, pretty pages in the middle. Okay. I'm going to put that aside for a second, because I want to ink around here before I do anything else. And these are meant to be simple, they're meant to be quick, but cute. Okay, we're going to cover this, don't worry about that. Okay. And the signatures are even going to be pretty simple. So make sure I've got the writing the right way. So you can see I've just torn the pages. I'm going to put it in the center here. Flip this over, and I'm going to take my hole puncher, and I've got it all the way back here, and I'm going to punch a hole here, and I'm going to punch a hole here, and then I'm going to take some cording, and this is the C-line cording that I use. Sorry, about to drop it. My micro macrame, and I'm just going to plop it in there. And pull it through. Grab this end, plop it in there, pull it through. Get these tight. Still trying to get it tight there. I needed one extra finger. Okay. And then tie it in a bow. You can leave it loose and add some charms to it, however you want to do it. just going to tighten the bow. I'll probably come back when I'm not a fumble fingers and tighten it more. Okay, there's our signature. Now, I went ahead and cut out some fabric. You can use fabric, you can use paper, you can use whatever you want to. And some lace. And I'm going to take my fabric glue, and since it's not wanting to come out very good, I'm just going to spread it on there and put my first piece of lace on. Spread it on again. Put my second piece of lace on. Put plenty on the spine here. And put some more along the edges. So the spine is 1/2 inch. And the cover is 3 by 4. So the whole book, if you measure from end to end when I was cutting out these pieces, is 4 by 6.5. Okay. I was looking for you. Okay, so now that kind of burnish down if we can. Okay. So we've got that, and I have got this is an ephemera cut out already. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here, and right there, again, I printed these out at 2 to a page for these ephemera sheets, and at about 90%. Okay, so let's just go ahead and put that on. Another one up front. Okay. Got some cute little envelopes here. Here's another one. And lots of tags floating around here. I just have them all buried. Okay, so here's some tags. And some more tags. More pockets. More envelopes. Oops, I got here. Some more tags. Okay. Now some tags I left like, nope, not that one. Not that one either. Well, I thought I left some tags that didn't have holes in them to use as belly bands. I may not have. Ah, here's one. Okay, so let's see here. We have a page here that could use something. I mean, it's got, or here. That other page couldn't be written on this page. I mean, the other page could be written on, so let's use this page, which can't be written on. And add a little bit of glue right there, a little bit of glue right there. And plop this belly band on here. Just like that. And then I've got some ribbon. And I'm trying to keep this short here. Just because I tend to have such long videos. Let's plop this ribbon in. My fingers do not want to work today. Guess it's Sunday. They feel like they can have the day off. Okay. You can stop the spraying by adding fabric tack to the edges. So we can just put that in there, and I'm experimenting here. The soft, those paper things that you throw in the fabric softener. I wanted to see if that would work as a layer in here, and it's not working very well. So let's try one that I didn't use fabric softener in. This is just a piece of paper. Okay. Let's stick that tag. That'll fit in there. Like that. And then we can stick that little belly band. Doesn't matter if it's peeking out. Okay, and we've got taller tag here. So let's get a green. Oh, I really made that one long, didn't I? Okay, so let's just get this one. I'm going to add that to that. We can add, let's see, so this is one of the envelopes. And we can add, let's see if I've got something thin over here. Yeah, not really. Okay, so here's something from a master board I was playing with. So I can cut that in half. So those little things are about 2.5 inches long, so I don't even have to cut it in half. I can just cut it about 2 inches. Cut that and that. And I actually used that kindness is free on the master board here. So I can just take that and slide it in there. See if that fits into that first pocket. It does, but I don't like it in there. So we can just throw that in. What I got in here? Let's see. I have a little paper. Have a little paper clip. What else do I have? I have a little silver ball. Okay, so let's do this. Take that little silver ball. Can we put that? Too big. If I had my hot glue gun here, I could just hot glue this guy, but I don't, so I can take E6000, put that on there, let that dry. Okay, that's a paper clip for it. Okay, what else have I got here? Got a little bulb clip. Okay, so I'll just use that. But you see where I'm going with this? Taking a little tag here. put that in the front pocket. That'll work. We've got this paper here. I'm going to cut this off. Fold it in thirds. It can be something to make a little note with. Stick that back there. Okay, we're just coming right along. Oh, some of these pages were a little long, so I folded them in. That could be a tuck spot. So let me add a little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue there. Do that. And I've got another little piece of paper here. Just fold this guy. Stuck him in there. And I know I've got another one right here. So I can do the same thing over here. And I've got words too someplace. I put them in a little folder type thing. So you can add don't want that one because that's misspelled. I like that word, joyful. I've got another friends in here. There's friends. There's kindness, inspire, believe, be kind, joyful, cherish, creative, happy. Okay. So I'm just going to add joyful. Up there. Be kind right there. That'd be cool. Okay. So I've got a few more of these to make, and some things I want to add on to this, but I think this will get you started, and whoever gets this will be pleasantly surprised. Perhaps on Valentine's you can do a Galentine's or Palentine's, however you want to say that, and just have fun, or just find somebody that needs some cheering up. I think they might enjoy getting something like this. So thank you, and I hope you like this. If you go to scrapbookingwithme.com and see anything you like, give Dawn20 code, DAWN20, and get 20% off on your order. And if you like this, then please like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.